Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're going to be focusing on proper, improper fractions and mixed numbers. The essential question for our lesson today is, what are proper and improper fractions and how do they relate to mixed numbers? So just the gist for the lesson here, we're going to be learning to identify how proper fractions look like, how improper fractions look like, and what mixed numbers look like, okay? The first thing we're going to be focusing on is proper fractions. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. The definition here for proper fractions is a fraction that always has a numerator that is smaller than its denominator. And I give you an example here on the right-hand side. You have 3/4. Now you know this is a proper fraction because just like its definition, the numerator is smaller than the denominator. In other words, 3 is less than 4, therefore it is a proper fraction because the number on the top is once again smaller than the number on the bottom. So that right there, that's all you really need to know about a proper fraction in the meantime. So if you want to go ahead and highlight it, you may, just so you know where to come back. But a proper fraction is just a fraction that has a numerator smaller than the denominator. Now let's go ahead and look at some other examples of what a proper fraction might look like. If a fraction just has to be proper, if a fraction is proper when it has a numerator smaller than the denominator, then it could be, once again, any fraction as long as the numerator is smaller than the denominator. So for example, 2/3 is a proper fraction, 5/6 is a proper fraction, 2/6 is a proper fraction, and 8/9 are proper fractions because, once again, the numerator is smaller than the denominator. You may highlight that if you'd like, just so you know where to come back. Here, I want you on the side where I wrote try it, I want you to write 3 proper fractions of your choice, okay? So I give you an example of a few of them over here. Just go ahead and write 3 examples of your own where you have a numerator that's smaller than the denominator. So if you want, you can go ahead and pause the video and do that. Once you are done, let's go ahead and take a look at the second page of your notes. What is an improper fraction? So an improper fraction is technically the opposite of a proper fraction, right? Because it's improper. That means it's not done correctly or not done the proper way. And an improper fraction is going to look like this. It's going to have a numerator that is bigger than its denominator. And what does that look like? I wrote an example right here using 4/3. Now you have a numerator that is bigger than its denominator. That means there's more pieces than what there are in total, right? So a proper fraction will always have a bigger number at the top and a smaller number on the bottom. Okay, that's all you really need to know for an improper fraction. And I wrote some examples here down for you. We have 6/5, 4/3, 5/4, 9/8, and 10/9. And once again, if you notice, all of these fractions right here have a numerator that's bigger than its denominator. So once again, an improper fraction is just a fraction where the top number is bigger than the bottom number. Now, just as this little practice here on your packet, I want you to go ahead and try and give me 3 improper fractions you can think of. There's no specific idea to this, just give me 3 improper fractions you can think of on the top of your head. If you want, go ahead and pause the video just so you have a moment to do it, and that way we can move forward. The next thing we're going to be talking about is mixed numbers. Mixed numbers this is really simple here. A mixed number, it's much like the title. It's literally numbers that are mixed together. And what this mix consists of is a whole number, which you see, for example, here on 3.5, and a proper fraction. You notice how it says proper fraction. That means that when it's an improper fraction here, it's not written correctly. So that's just something you should keep in mind for our next lesson. So once again, a mixed number is just a mix of a whole number and a fraction put together as one number. So for example, when you look at this number, you go, hey, that's 3.5. And you know it's a mixed number because it has a whole number and a proper fraction on the side. Okay? Easy peasy. Now let's go on to the next page. And the final page for this lesson, which is a pretty easy lesson, right, is just looking at the proper fractions and the whole numbers. So once again, right here, this mixed number has 2 and 1/4. If you notice at the diagram here on the side, that means that we have 2 whole pieces and we have 1/4 of 1. So this is what a mixed number looks like when you put it in a visual way. You have 2 wholes and 1/4 of a whole, okay? Now let's look at another one over here. What mixed numbers are being modeled? Well, how many whole numbers do we have? We have 1, 2, 3. And is this one whole right here? No, right? So we have 3 wholes, and then we have 2/4, right, of another. So this fraction can be read as 3 and 2/4. And if you're remembering how to identify a fraction, how to look at it, and how to simplify this, you can also technically say that these 2/4 are 1/2, right? So you could also say that you have 3 and 1/2 because 2 is half of 4, so 3 and 1/2. Now let's look at the next example over here. How many whole numbers do we have? Well, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Is this a whole number? No, because we only have one of the pieces shaded in. So let's go ahead and start with our wholes. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that means we have 4 wholes. And then we have one piece out of 3. So 4 and 1/3. So this diagram here shows you the fraction 4 and 1/3. What I want you to do just to close off this lesson and to finish off this assignment, please tell me, what did we learn in this lesson? So go ahead and just answer the essential question. What are proper fractions? What are improper fractions? And what are mixed numbers?